Fishing is brought to you by Culprit, confidence with every cast. Phoenix Boats, experience the difference. And Power Pole, swift, silent, secure.
Guys, we're out here early spring, classic pre-spawn conditions. The water's in the low 50s. And I got on my mind lipless crankbaits. That's one of my favorite things for when the water first warms up in the spring. Fish are pulling up on the flats and points and places before they get back in and spawn. So really pumped up about today. It's expected to be almost 80 degrees later on this afternoon with some storms rolling in. So excited to see what's going to happen today. All right. There he is. Good one. Put the poles down. That's a good sign. We got the wind blowing right on this little flat, leading into a spawning cove, which is supposed to get really warm this afternoon. I'm totally expecting there to be some fish kind of up a little bit. Man, I just barely got him. All right. Woo. Decent little fish. Pushing 3 pounds. And all I did on that, I've got this flipless crankbait. Now just pumping it on the edge of this big flat right here, and boom, right away. Good one. Oh shoot, hooked up. All right, so I got my poles down, my power poles down. I'm gonna leave that out there. I'm gonna chunk. I don't want to go over top of the fish. I snagged the stump, so fish the area a little bit before I go in and get that bait. There he is. Oh, he came off. I think, there he come back and got it. Bladed swim jig this time. Oh, come on, buddy. Another good one. Look at this, I gotta swing him over top of my bait that's hung up. That's a good little tip there. If you get hung up, don't go right in and get it if you think there's fish in that area. Just, if it's legal to fish with 2 rods in the state that you're in, leave your bait hung up, pick up something else and chunk it out there. I think I found me a little school right here. This is what you really need for moving baits on flats, is you really need the wind. When this wind stops, you a lot of times are in big trouble on these flats. There's one right there. Feels like a good one too. Oh, it's not that big, but totally demonstrates the point of power pole down, don't disrupt the area. That's 2 extra fish right there. Just from having those things on board and just not blowing over that spot. There he is. Good one right there, it feels like. Am I gonna say that every time? But this one really does feel like a good one. He ain't moving like a little one. He is just staying bulldogging down. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Oh, he's a big old fat one. Yes. All right. Look at that guy. That is a pretty fish. Again, on the bladed swim jig with that Incredible Slam, man. That, to me, is the best swim jig trailer. That fish's mouth is so thick, like it's a really healthy fish. Man. Bye-bye. Might be a pretty fun day today.
Fishing with a lipless bait, you are bound to get hung up eventually. Dustin was needing to find an alternate presentation anyway, so the hang-up is a good thing.
All right, the school has officially stopped biting, so I'm going to go get my bait. But now I can go back to fishing this lipless crankbait, which is a lot faster than a chatterbait. And that's probably a really good 1-2 punch anyway, is finding them with the lipless crankbait. And when they stop biting that, give them a bladed swim jig or something a little bit different. There he is. Feels like a pretty good one. My pole's down. It feels like a really nice fish. I mean, that dude is pulling. We're talking about possibly about a 5-pounder. Man, look at that guy. Ooh, that is why I love to get on the lake pre-spawn. Golly, look at this guy. Man, look at that guy. Big old stomach on him. Whew, gone. That is awesome right there. Nothing better. Water is now 56 degrees with the wind blowing on this point. Doesn't get any better than that. Ugh, that feels like another good one. Yes, sir. And how important are those power poles? I mean, I'm able to stay way away from these fish to where they don't even know I'm here. Beautiful fish. He choked that thing, totally choked it. All right, I need the pliers on that guy. Oh, that's a big one right there. I could tell by the way he just stone cold stopped it. If it ain't a big one, it's gonna surprise me. That is a toad. It's coming back around the other side. This fish is going wherever he wants to go. It felt like somebody just, he must have ran into it head first. He hit it so hard. That's awesome. And he did eat it head first. Look at that. That's a nice fish. There he is. Good one too, man. Woo! It's swim jig again. Whew. That is such an awesome follow-up bait to a lipless crankbait. Look at that guy. Pushing 4 pounds right there. That is an incredible number of good fish today. Completely spoiled today. They are flat out here, man. Oh yeah. Like another good one. Look at the other side. I'm catching so many. He's just bulldogging. He's not even huge. But he's just a fighting dude. That's the way I have him hooked. He's hooked in the bottom of the mouth. A lot of times they stay down when you hook them like that. Yeah. But I want you to look at how thick that rascal is right there. That fish is built like a linebacker. Look at that. That's unbelievable. He is as thick as he is long. I bet that fish is only 16 inches long at best. And it's got to be over 3 pounds. That's an awesome fish. Huh. All right, this is what you sit around thinking about all winter long. How one day that water's finally going to be 55 and I can smoke them. It's here.
No Fishing is brought to you by Culprit Lures, Phoenix Boats, and Power Pole.
So let me show you what I'm using today. First bait I've been using is a lipless crankbait, and there's nothing better than a lipless crankbait for covering massive amounts of water in the springtime. Big flats, shallow points, you can really cover the water with that bait. And the other thing I'm throwing that I can fish at about half the rate is a bladed swim jig with a Culprit and Creta Slim as a trailer. And this bait I can fish a little bit slower, get it down in that grass and kind of irritate the fish and get a few extra bites that way. Both baits today I'm fishing on 6.3 to 1 gear ratio reels on medium heavy rods. And that's a flex light rod, so it's a little bit of a slower action, but it still gives me enough backbone to rip it out of grass and get good hook sets on long cast. Both the bladed swim jig and the lipless crankbait, I'm making super long casts on flats, so a light action rod would not be good for keeping your fish hooked way out there. There he is. Good one too. Oh man, this might be the biggest one yet. He is about to spool me. I generally don't use drag. When a big fish gets me, I hit my free spool button and let the fish go. That way my drag never slips when I set the hook. And I get positive hook sets that way, but the risk is you get a big fish run at the boat. That guy. You get a big fish run at the boat when you do that. You have to have a quick thumb. Man, what a beautiful fish. Got a bad spot on him, but man, look at that thing. Another 5-pounder. What a day.
Dustin is keeping the streak alive for what seems like forever, catching bass after bass on the lipless bait and bladed jig. The feeding frenzy goes on, keeping Dustin happy until the action stops. What will poor Dustin do if he can't keep catching them every cast? It's adjustment time. After a frenzy like that, it better be a good one, or he will have a major letdown.
This wind's completely stopped blowing and it's starting to get pretty warm. I'm just not getting any more bites out here at all. I'm gonna have to do something else.
Turns out this was the calm before the storm. Literally, the fish shut down just as a major storm arrived, and Dustin seeks shelter under a nearby dock. Weathering the storm in relative comfort, Dustin heads back out to find major changes have taken place. The bass are no longer going for his traditional approach, and Dustin believes the warm spring rain has the bait fish and bass suspending. It is time for a major overhaul in presentation. Dustin opts for one of his favorites that is not widely known.
That's just a touch cold for a buzzbait. Oh, no it ain't. Little guy. Literally, I was complaining that the fish are probably up at the top of the water, and that's why they're not biting crankbaits, because they're suspending. And second cast on a buzz bait, bam, after I've been talking about it for 30 minutes. Not a big one, but positive sign. Here it comes. Oh, that was a big one too. Hey, look guys, 53-degree water. No wind, so they're not biting crankbaits. Buzz bait just started and it's on. It's gonna seems like. You could tell they're sluggish by the way they're biting it. That one just kind of flopped at it. But if that's where the fish are, if they're 3 inches below the surface, that's where you got to fish for them. When you see a bird like that and he don't fly away when you get close, you know there's a lot of bait fish around and you're in the right area. They don't like people if there's not a lot of bait around. Oh, come on. Yeah, got it. Good one too. Going out to deep water. That's a nice little early spring bass. About 4 pounds. And look, that's the second big one that I had hooked. The earlier one I lost, he was bigger than that one. But I want to show you guys something, how cold the water is. 54 degrees, like buzzbait. Oh, that's a big one right there. Yes, buzzbait. Oh, he came off. 53-degree water, buzzbait, right off the end of that beaver hut. About a 4.5, maybe 5 pounder. Ah! That's one of the things you really have to accept when you're cold water buzzbait fishing, is you're gonna get a lot of short strikes, and that's one of the reasons I have a trailer hook on and it's still not helping. I mean, I've missed several nice ones today. A good bite like this can happen so fast when you're not even ready for it. Like, you know, it's been, like I said, the water's been like freezing cold this year. This lake even froze a couple times. Last week it was in the low 40s, and already, bam, biting topwater. I mean, how awesome is that? A little breeze on the water here, so I decided to throw a bladed swim jig instead of the buzzbait for a few minutes. That guy, he felt like a weed. Just kind of sluggishly loaded up on it. A bladed swim jig right where that wind's blowing on the, like, literally 6 inches of water. I'm down to 52 degrees too. There he is, toad. That was awesome. There's nothing better to me than a pre-spawn buzzbait bite. That's just the coolest thing. Come here, toad. Look at that dude. This is the second time that I fished this pocket, and there was a bird, a heron over here, and it flew out and it scared some fish right where I was, and I decided to come back and hit it again, and bam, got that guy. It ruined my skirt, but I don't even care. Woo! I just lost my skirt on my buzzbait, so I'm robbing one off of a jig. Sometimes you just gotta sacrifice. Today was all about improvising. That first fish I caught was a nice one and I got hung up. So what did I do? I left it out there, put the power poles down, picked up another bait, caught fish. The next spot that I found was just totally loaded up. Nothing went wrong, never got hung up, caught them and caught them and caught them. But then the fish suddenly stopped biting as the front was approaching. It actually got calm and slick. And nothing was biting. This fish actually came up in the water column. So improvising, I pulled a buzzbait out of the box and just started waylaying them on the buzzbait. What an awesome day. So now you know.